How did music come into my life? I think I have a very typical Midwestern American experience with music, in the fact that even though I play mostly jazz now, there was very little jazz on the radio and on TV in the St. Louis area where I grew up. It was my earliest memories are listening to country and western, AM radio. My father would play the radio in the garage on the weekends, and I would hear that. And I have two older sisters, and I remember them listening to the Eagles and Fleetwood Mac and Carly Simon records. And that's sort of my earliest memories of music, of listening to 70s pop and old-time country and western, thanks to my father, in the 70s, growing up in the 70s in the Midwest. So that was sort of my earliest experience with music. And when I was 10, around 10 years old, I remember seeing a rock and roll band on television, and saw the guitar player, and I thought, that's it, I have to play the guitar. So I begged my parents to buy me a guitar, and for Christmas, when I was 11 years old, I got an electric guitar, and took lessons at the music store with my first great teacher, Keith Brown, I have to say. And he was such a great teacher because he introduced me to all kinds of music. He taught me how to read music, first of all, which on the guitar were notably bad sight readers, and Keith took care of that. And he also introduced me to the whole range of popular music, from jazz to folk music to roots music, and that sort of lit the fire to play the guitar. On the decision to become a professional musician, so I started the guitar 10, 11 years old, and played, and it was fun. I played every day. It was just something that I did. I didn't think about it. It was fun. And when I was 16, I attended a summer jazz camp at the local university, Southern Illinois University. And that's where I met my second great guitar teacher, Rick Hayden, who I had no idea about jazz. I had just been listening to records. I still didn't really know what was going on, and he straightened that out right away in this experience of a summer jazz camp. He's a phenomenal teacher. He's still there, and producing many, many great guitarists every year out of that school. And it was sort of that experience of playing jazz with other people for the first time that made me think differently about the music and what I really liked to do. So it was around 16 years of age, I thought, okay, this is what I want to do. I never, of course, thought about making a living with it or anything farther than I love the guitar, I don't want to do anything else. So that was the decision. I've been able to focus more on what I want to play and what I have to say on the guitar, as opposed to just working music as work. You have more of a feeling of what can you give of yourself. it wasn't long after I was in Berlin that I was lucky enough to meet Till Bronner, and he took me right away into a record date with Manfred Krug, who I didn't know who that was. And at the same time, we also did some of the last Hildegard Knef recordings. And that was a very special moment because I instantly got to meet and play with some of the musicians, some of the guys that I respect most of all the people I've played with. Frank Chastanier, who last night was in this club and tore it down, and Wolfgang Hafner, and all of this whole crew of people. So I was lucky enough to sort of get in this scene a little bit, and again, because of the rhythm guitar playing, it's a niche, it's something special, and so I've gotten to play with lots of jazz, pop productions, playing with Pay Werner, playing with Barbara Schöneberger, got to play on a No Angels record, the Thomas Quasthoff, the Till's records. It's fantastic. It's a joy. People my age, 39 years old, musicians of my generation, this is, you're of course influenced by rock and roll and pop music, and what's out there, it's because that's what we've grown up with. For the older generations of jazz, it was different that way. So I'm just as happy playing some country riff on the guitar as I am playing bebop. That's there's not much of a difference musically. When it's done well, it's great music. So I find myself broadening my palette every day.